Hey everybody, it's RS Leafy and I've got a Tekkit tutorial for you guys. Now, this is a little thing that I made. To my knowledge, I haven't seen anything like it using industrial craft. I've seen it using red power, but nothing quite like this setup. And I prefer this setup just because it's more compact and things like that. But to start off, 64 and 14. We're going to have to remember that because I want to show you guys just how fast this is. This has only been running for about 20 minutes. But basically, it takes advantage of the fact that when you macerate a blaze rod, you get 5. So basically, all this machine does is take the extra 3 and put them toward a condenser of whatever you want, and then using the 2 just make a blaze rod. So it's pretty simple, and you can make one of these relatively fast in the game. These are all the things you need: rotary macerator, overclocker, 7 cobblestone, 9 overclocker by the way, 7 cobblestone, 2 wooden transport pipes, 5 redstone engine, 4 redstone torches, 2 energy condensers, a distribution pipe, at least 2 blaze rods, a power source, a storage for that, and whatever transformers you need for that, and then of course whatever you're going to be condensing. Now, it can be a bit tricky to set up, but once you get the hang of it, it's really simple and you don't have to worry about it. The hardest thing would probably be setting the macerator up. Now, let's see if I can get this on the first try. I need to switch into creative. Basically, I suggest this, the minimum of this, because it takes a while for, actually this is backwards. It takes, once all is said and done, a low voltage array is plenty to run this machine, but it's just a matter of getting it started. You'll be able to see in a second, and just for that fact, because I need to get this up, because you'll see. But basically it just drains more power than it can produce. It's possible with the bat box, but I really don't recommend it. And so now if we start laying down you're going to need, as I said, 4 or 5 redstone engines, and you're going to need 4 of them on this one. So you just start turning these on, and I recommend doing this the second step after you start getting your power source ready, because you need these to be at maximum efficiency, and that's when they're glowing red, as you can see with those over there. So, but once you do that, you're in the clear. And then you just place, you can make it pretty, but you place your distribution pipe, energy condenser. It doesn't matter where you place this redstone engine, because and then I need my cobblestone pipe, and we're just going to build up here. Now, I can't guarantee that this machine will work in any other setup, because it's fine-tuned to a point. I know it works in here, and so I really don't recommend trying to change the setup, just because it will be a big pain in the butt. Now, the way these work is you open the GUI by right-clicking them, and you see all these colored boxes. They correspond to the ends of the pipe. So this might be different depending on where you place it and whether it's facing north or south, etc., etc. But basically, before we actually get it fully set up, we need to set all of them but the two you have. So going to the energy condensers. So in my case, it's blue and green. So just set those to 1 and set everything else to 0, because we don't want anything going back. Okay, my MFE is properly... You can do this with about halfway, and for some reason that torch is invisible. But here comes the most troublesome part of the whole setup. It's setting up the macerator. Now you can go in here. It takes a while for it to get set up, but you can just go in here, wait for it to get to 7,500. That's the bare minimum. Add an overclocker, wait to go at 500, and just repeat it all the way up till you use all your overclockers. But what I like to do is just put 4 in. As you can see, it's building up RPM at a much faster rate, and so you just want to leave that there for a bit. Checking on MFE is perfectly fine. So let's go and check the yeah. So as you guys can see, it's just a madhouse of creation. I've been using this on my single player world, and I've gotten about 2 stacks of dark matter so far, and I have a server that I play on. I used it on my server, and I have currently 28 stacks of red matter. I'll get into the finer details of server use after all is said and done. But you want to put a blaze rod in this condenser, and then you want to put whatever the end result to be in this one. So let's check on the... Okay, that's not quite, but it should stop off at 9,500. Yes. And then just finish adding these. Now, the power will drain here. That's fine. Just keep adding them. Wait till it fully charges till you add the next one. On the 8th one, it'll completely go down, but it'll, as I said, it'll be fine. And then on the 9th, it'll go down and it'll do this weird fluctuation thing for a bit, but then it should steady at 12,000. And now you're actually ready to get started. Now let's, for proof of concept, I'm going to destroy all these medium voltage and put 1 low voltage. So the maximum input the macerator can take is 32, so you do need to bring it down to low voltage before you try to use it. Yeah, the MFE is still fine. But once you get it all set up, a bat box right next to it is fine. And so you want to go ahead and start the system. And earlier I said you need at least 2 blaze rods. That's because the more blaze rods you have in the beginning, the faster this whole process will get started. Now, even though these machines are barely turning green, I will go ahead and start just so you guys can see. But you want to put in, you only actually need a maximum of 32 because that will fill up the macerator pretty fast. But those start crushing and then they start going through the system. Now, the way this is set up, 1 will go to a condenser and 1 will go to making another blaze rod. And as you can see, it's fully filled up now. I'll cut the video to where all the engines are red, and I'll actually take this time to explain how you should go about using this on the server. The problem I had with using this on a server was it was underground because I didn't want this above ground so people could, just go in and take my red matter. But I had put it underground. So I had made a hydro flower, which will be another tutorial. It'll be the one after this. But I used a hydro flower and the water wasn't getting replenished and it was just all disappearing and it would eventually stop the machine. So what I found is if you placed a dimensional anchor or a world anchor or even an anchor cart if you want to. But either one of these will work. It just depends on which one you like more. Personally, I like the dimensional because it's less EMC than the world. But the server you play on might say no to one of them or the other, whatever you want. But basically what these do, they always keep chunks loaded. So, if you place it right next to the machine, a 3x3 area is perfectly fine because these go by chunks. So, each chunk is 16 blocks, so you're pretty much set. But basically these just keep the chunks loaded so that when you're not on and around the machine, it'll keep running. The GUI is weird for... Yeah, the world anchor, you can't customize it. I believe it's 3x3 chunks. I'm not fully positive on that one, but so that one you probably want to place just right next to your machine. Okay, now that these are fully heated up, we should be good to go. They take about 10 minutes to fully heat up, so it's just something you have to wait for. I restarted the machine just so you guys can see, but as I said before, just put an amount in there just to sort of keep the blaze powder going and sort of simulate what it will be like. But once these start going around, you're going to want to change this. The side that's going to the thing being condensed is going to have 3, and then the side going to the blaze rod will have 2. That will keep it perfectly even. If you do this right, you won't have to worry about overflow or anything like that because it's just spot on perfect. Okay, I'm going to have to put in some more blaze rods into the system just so we can speed this process up here. The goal, you could leave, this one's a little different as far as the blaze rods go from my previous machines because this one actually has a gap. You can see sometimes it has a few gaps every now and then to prevent overflow, so it has time for the system to catch up. I think that's actually less efficient than what I hope this machine is. The goal is to get it to where there's no gaps and there's always there's only going to be under a certain amount of blaze rods in here. Like this one, you should see it should never go over 7, but you will build up an excess and just like see here. So the machines are trying to catch up. Right there it should catch up, but I'm going to go ahead and change this over. So now we should be set. Just a few little fine-tuning things there. I'm going to go ahead and take some of these out. There, that should be good. And then, just put these back or whatever you want, and you're pretty much good. I mean, as I said, a low voltage is plenty to run this thing. and it's just a really good system of getting EMC for you basically doing nothing. All it is setup time, and that's all. Now let's see. I'm going to do an experiment here. I'm not sure, but will this run just off a regular solar panel? No, it won't. So you guys will need at least a low voltage. But thanks for watching. If you want to see some more Tekkit tutorials, be sure to subscribe, because I finally got the ability to record Minecraft, so I will be doing a lot of these, and I might even show off my single player and server world. So thanks for watching. If you have any questions, be sure to leave a comment or send me a message on YouTube, and have a good day.